You do the.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Unreal Real Estate Podcast. I am Nick. I'm joined here today with Adam Rhodes from Northpoint Bank.
The best.
And then back as usual,
Mortgage.
we've got Tim and Richie. Mortgage?
Yeah, we're not a bank.
Mortgage bank.
Should we start over?
Wait, hang on. No, same thing,
Rewind
right?
that, Claire?
No,
Okay.
we're not a bank.
Not the same thing. Northpoint Mortgage. So to kick it off, you've got a funny story for us, Adam.
No, I don't. What? You just kept saying we're gonna have a funny story. You didn't say it was my job to come up with it.
Start over, but definitely clip this in somewhere.
All right, guys, so we're back again. No funny story today.
Yeah.
But I am joined here with Adam Rhodes from Northpoint Mortgage.
Yep.
Mortgage. Just mortgage.
They're not a bank.
Not a bank. So I think today, guys, one of the things that we really wanted to talk about was affordability, right? And kind of where the market is, interest rates, a lot of kind of those question marks, unknowns. So as we're all trying to get financing for our next home, me included, right? Adam, what are you seeing on your side?
You know, I think affordability right now with prices home prices literally being as high as they've ever been. And rates being really on the high end of where they've been for the last 10 years. I mean, affordability is on every potential homeowners and every homeowner's mind, right? When they're thinking about their next home, and you know, the house that that cost them X amount a month 4 years ago is, in a lot of circumstances, is double. Right, but just because of the price increases, and because of where mortgage interest rates are right now.
Yeah.
How are you seeing mortgage applications?
No, but it's
Y'all would bring me in to be a Debbie Downer.
How are you seeing applications? Are they percentage higher, lower?
You know, I would say our business is good, but we've got great relationships. We've been the guys on our team and ladies on our team have been in the mortgage business in their community for a long time. So the relationships go deep. I think applications and closings are not where one might expect them to be in July going into, you know, the beginning of the school year, but they're not. But it's not horrible.
Right.
So businesses, we're better than we deserve, is what I say.
Awesome.
When people ask. But 3 or 4 years ago now, we were probably doing double.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that goes hand in hand with episode 5.
Yeah.
But I think that's in line with what we see on the transaction side is everything's kind of leveled out. It's kind of returning back to an old normal. The transaction counts haven't taken a huge dip by any means. You're starting to see a little bit of pressure on pricing. But I think it goes back to affordability. And you look at people that are actually in the buyer's market, the ones that are really needing to move right now, that have that motivation, they have to. It's not a want to.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are making a move, and they're going, what's the most I can get for my money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. When you talk about affordability, something else and I'm just going to kind of run this direction for a second. Something else that has really crept in, especially in the first-time homebuyer world, is the cost of obtaining financing. Right. Just because many closing costs are tied to loan amount, right? Taxes have increased, insurance has increased. So affordability now is not just what's it going to cost me a monthly payment,
right?
But how am I going to get into this house? It's not just the 3.5% or 3% down that you need. There's a big chunk that's in closing costs. Now, in the last month, and you guys can tell us if you're seeing what we're seeing too. But as the market has kind of softened and listings have started to sit a little bit, we're seeing sellers being more and more willing to pay more and more of whatever they're allowed to pay, right, when it comes to closing costs.
Exactly right.
Where you'd see sellers be like, okay, I'll pay $2,000 or $3,000. Now we've got buyers who are asking for $12,000 or $15,000 and they're getting it.
Yeah.
Right. Which is good, but hopefully that's kind of Well, that certainly plays into the affordability question.
100%.
Just from a getting into the house.
Yeah.
Now, you guys tell me. I think a lot of the conversations are around net numbers. The seller is going,
Yeah.
this is what I want to net, whether it's closing cost, purchase price,
Yeah.
however the math works. You know what I mean? There's pluses and minuses all over the place. But
Right.
what is the seller cares about? What is my net?
Mm-hmm.
And the buyer goes, what is my net? What do I actually have to pay
Yeah.
to get into this home? Because there are a lot of secondary costs, moving costs. Am I going to have to replace appliances? Am I going to have to
100%.
do minimum updates, right? For a house that's not in perfect condition, which I think we see a lot of buyers right now looking for that move-in ready,
Beautiful. Yeah.
perfect
Mhm.
condition home.
Yeah.
Because they are stretched so thin
Yeah.
that normally they would have spent 5 or 10 grand making it theirs, and the cash isn't there anymore at the end of the deal.
Exactly right. And
Right.
I'm telling a lot of my buyers, which I'm sure you're probably doing the same, is like instead of asking for $15,000 off the purchase price, let's get it in closing costs.
Yeah.
That's going to save you up front. You can do whatever you have to do with the house if you have to. Either way, it's money in pocket that is better than getting it off a loan.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, if you look at it from a call it $6 per thousand, 10 grand is $60 a month, right? I mean, that's anymore. That's your family going to McDonald's.
Right.
But you're coming off 10 grand, right? So not having to liquidate and come up with an additional $10,000 in cash, and the trade-off is $60 a month. I mean, you can make that math make sense real easy.
Yeah. And it's an instant, it's an instant savings to the buyer.
Yeah.
Out of pocket cost. I mean, having, like you said, coming up with an extra 10 grand or whatever that is, that's a huge chunk right now because everybody's super tight.
Exactly.
Because everything is expensive. Interest rates are pretty high right now, at least in terms of what's been happening the past few years. House prices are high, incomes aren't going up, and then all your consumer goods are all expensive right now too. So
Insane.
I agree. So, for us too, we're writing the majority of our contracts, we're writing closing cost in just as the first offer.
Like a standard,
Unless
like
it's
we're
a
doing,
unless it's a very competitive property, which we don't see hardly any of those right now.
No.
So, we're asking
So
for
are
closing
you
costs.
advising, like when you're having listing appointments, are you telling your listing agents, look, expect them
Yeah.
to ask
Prepare
you
for
closing costs as well?
Yeah, sellers, for sure. Like, hey, this isn't COVID anymore. I usually start with that almost right at the beginning. Like, hey, I know you want as much, and my job is to get you as much as possible for your house, but we also got to understand that this is not COVID. This is a different world. We're like seeing the other shoe drop, so to speak.
And you're going to get hit over the head with an inspection.
Yeah,
I feel like
and buyers,
people are asking.
I think you're also seeing a lot of sellers preempting it and just offering it without even being asked.
Yeah,
I see it all the time in descriptions right now, whether it's in the public or the private description. They're going, hey, 10 grand in closing cost, right? Or 10 grand off price or closing cost. It's 10 grand, however you want to use it, just to try to entice the offer.
Yeah.
I also have a seller right now who's like, literally, he's like, give me a list of like 10 things I need to do for my house.
Right.
And like, I want it to be competitive and even better than the rest. And I'm like, cool, we'll redo this, that, and that. And
Yeah.
Like, all right, good.
Yeah, and
Well,
I've seen go ahead.
Crazy.
Saying that the seller's willing to pay some closing costs and do some concessions kind of seems like a great way to tell the market, hey, we're open to negotiate on this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I've seen the phrase motivated seller
Oh my gosh.
more in the listing descriptions in the past couple of months than I've seen in the past 5 years.
Along with listed under appraised value. I see that
Yeah.
almost all the time now. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, because appraisals are yesterday's number.
COVID.
I saw one. I saw one over the weekend that said motivated seller but not desperate.
wow.
What is that?
Seller specifically wanted to convey.
Wow.
I think it says we're willing to negotiate, but don't lowball me.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that address?
Don't
I want
make
to take the
me-
listing.
That's funny. Yeah, but it's just a different world, and we're just doing the best we can to take in all the information that's available to us, and then to relay it to our clients and say, hey, help you to make the best decision possible. Based on the info.
Which I'd love your input too as well, but like just showing buyers, I'm never in my life, I'm getting calls 5 minutes after showing times from the agents. What can we do to get you
I
in?
know.
What can we do? Is it a price thing? Is it this? Is that? I'm like, wow. Like, I wish I had the money to buy this house and just lowball you. You know? Like, but I've never in my life had so many agents calling saying, how do we get you in? Like, I'm still in the house. Like, I don't know.
Well, because it also might have been, you might have been the first showing that month, and they're just looking for some feedback.
100%.
They just want another set of eyes to say, what do you think?
I got a call from an offer that I made 3 or 4 months ago, right? I made this offer. They were like, this is nothing we're going to take, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, they're at the price that we offered, and they called, are clients still interested? I'm like, well, they are, but this is our offer now. And, still negotiating that. But it's just crazy. It's just a different world. So a lot of agents that don't have the skills to back it up are going to be.
But you see it every when you guys talk about your smart numbers, right? And how when you get into the grind of chasing the market down, right, and not pricing it accurately on the front, it just the amount of time that it takes for a listing to sell. When you have to chase it,
you go from 2 weeks to 90 days real quick.
But
I think we can talk about this, and it sounds a little bit like doom and gloom, but there are 39% of homes still coming on the market that are priced right and selling well. So it's not like there's nothing moving.
No, it's more important than ever.
There's still a lot
to hit that
moving.
price point. Yeah.
And there are plenty of buyers in the market.
Yes.
I mean, we've got pages of people who are approved and actively looking, right? Are they a little pickier? Are they a little more price sensitive? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're out there and they're active. Absolutely.
Yeah.
To what you said before, this is interesting. I was doing some research the other day for this offer. In the $1.5 to $2 million range, homes that didn't make a price decrease, act like the days on market were like 80. If you had to make a price decrease, it went up to 180 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is kind of what you said about chasing the market down. And like once you do and you make that first price, like it's like almost like a nail in the coffin. If you make a price decrease, you're just like, use the agent, price it properly. Even if it's under, you're still going to get the number you want because you get multiple, right? So it's like...
But once it's sitting out that long, it's stale. Everybody's kind of seen it. They've seen it pop up in the feed 16 times. They're not even looking at it seriously anymore. They wrote it off months 100%. Ago. Even if you drop the price, even if it's reasonable, it's still not on their radar. You've got to catch them early and fast when 100%. It's new.
Yeah. And if you do a price reduction, it's got to be
significant.
It's significant. You can't just drop it a couple $1,000s and hope that it...
Because somebody would have made that offer that saw the house if they liked it, right?
It's not... You got to be pretty serious about what your price reductions are. Of course, the sellers have to agree, but it's like, we're not getting you to drop the price because we want you to lose money. We want you to sell your house.
I also think it's important to change the photos a little bit, right? If you're doing a price decrease, you need a brand new refresh. Whether that's take it off the market for 5 days, take it off on Monday, put it on a Friday, change the first picture, take some out, do whatever you have to do, but it's not just like, we dropped 10,000. Everything else looks the same. You're like, I saw that house. It's terrible.
But I think it's also important to think about. We say, okay, you can't just drop a couple $1,000, but it also depends on the price point. I could say I'm going to drop it $25,000, but at $1 million,
that's not that much.
That's nothing.
2.5%.
Right now, I mean, my old rule of thumb is, and I don't really know if this is still 100% true today, was I had to be within at least 10% to start getting traffic. And I had to be within at least 5% to get an offer. So if I'm using that old rule that I used to go by pre-COVID, if I'm not within 10%, if I'm not getting any traffic, I'm at least 10% off.
Right. Agreed.
So if I'm at an average price point of $600,000, $700,000, I'm looking at least a $60,000 or $70,000 price reduction.
Which that's a tough pill to swallow.
Pill to swallow.
Right.
Another question, maybe semi-related, is: are you seeing a lot of low appraisals come back on your contracts?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually
1%.
came up in a conversation. But no, we're not seeing appraisals yet, right? Come in low. In fact, I got one today that came in higher, like 10% higher than the purchase price, which, I mean, you guys know, generally, like 96% of the time, an appraisal magically comes in at the purchase price. So for it to come in magically 10% higher, I mean, that is, it catches your attention.
Wait, so I'm not listing the house correctly every time?
I'm not a genius.
It's not always the right number.
But no, we're not. We haven't started to see appraisals come in low.
That's good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because I think also appraisers are using yesterday's data.
Yeah.
They're using a lot of data from the last 90 days, which, hey, is great when we're looking at trying to get a loan approved. But is it really showing what the authentic value of the property is?
Right.
Because we were having a conversation earlier today about pre-approval and really getting your appraisal done pre-listing. And that's where you're seeing all these people going listed under appraised value because the appraisals are coming back on old data, and that's where a seller wants to list, and it's not relevant.
No, I'm like almost telling my sellers like every time, no, we're not getting your appraisal before you list because you're going to see a number that you think your house is worth. These are the comps. This is what it is. I saw one the other day on the lake, $500,000 below appraised value. It started off with $500,000 below appraised value. It was like a $3.5 million lake.
That's that's irrelevant.
It's absurd.
But still, that's almost 15-20% somewhere in that ballpark. Rough math. I mean,
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, appraised value and what someone's willing to pay for it, especially in this market, is two separate things.
Well, one of the first rules I learned in real estate was a house is like a piece of art. It's worth what somebody's willing to pay for it.
Yeah, that's what the market says.
It's amazing.
It doesn't matter what the loop says it's worth.
Looking to join Keller Williams?
That's funny. Yeah, that's good.
So,
What do you
cool.
think?
That's spot on.
Well, Adam, thank you for all your time today.
Thank y'all. I mean, I've been waiting for an invite. So
There you
I'm
go.
so excited.
This is
I
only
finally
like
made the
episode
list.
5 or 6, or I don't
I
even
think
know
it's
what we're
now.
on.
I think
it's
this is
6.
But
I don't know.
And where's
regardless-
Adam, where are you with again?
Northpoint Mortgage.
Shameless plug.
There it is.
There we go. Right side.
It's
It's
sitting
right
on
side of the
his
cup.
cup.
Awesome.
But thank you for all the knowledge. You're amazing.
Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Great to
I think
see you.
that's a wrap for episode 6.25, whatever number we're at.
Just watch for the bloopers.
And thank
Yep,
you
see you
again,
next week.
Claire.
And next week or the week after, Claire Ask You, our first time home buyer is going to be our guest of honor.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Wow.
Love her.
All right. Bye.
Bye.